procedure in lap-band surgery.
Reshape Lifesciences is carved a niche in the market for this thing that is minimally invasive and helps thousands of people lose weight surgically. And it was once thought of as one of these hideous type surgeries where you get gastric bypass and so on and so forth. Yeah. It has come so far. And we've had Reshape Lifesciences on in the past and had such a great response. We wanted to bring them back because they basically have transformed this technology in terms of weight loss surgery to where it is literally almost an outpatient surgery these days. Wow. Not quite. I mean, maybe we haven't talked to him for a year. Maybe it is now. Yeah. Paul Hickey is the president and CEO of Reshape Lifesciences, NASDAQ company, RSLS. RSLS is their stock symbol. You can go to reshapelifesciences.com. And I'll tell you what, just because I said that, Paul, all of a sudden people are yelling for their husbands to get in here to watch the show. Yeah. Honey, get in here now.
But not me, no.
How are you, Paul? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, listen, let's talk about the business, first of all, of the industry of weight loss. I mean, everyone, every single day in their email, whether you're twig thin like Mike and I, or you're a little chunky like Greg Todoroff is over here. Yeah. We're getting supplements every day and workouts every day, and wear this vest that has electroshock and this and that, and talk about the real issue, because this is a multi-billion-dollar industry and very few solutions. Talk about one of the solutions that you guys are responsible for.
Yeah, I take a step back. You can't turn on the radio or television without hearing about the GLP-1s that hit the markets early last year in big form with Ozempic and Wegovy, and also Zepbound now, right? And I used to say that obesity is a disease that you could knowingly have and walk down the street and not even think about seeing a healthcare professional. So it's been so normalized in our society. And I think with the introduction of these GLP-1s now, that the discussion of treatment obesity is being normalized, which is, I think, a great thing. And that helps us out. It's going to provide us with tailwind, we believe, with the Lap-Band and the new Lap-Band that we just had approved earlier this year by the FDA.
So I was actually going to ask that, Paul. Do Lap-Band surgery and the surgeries that you guys have also go hand in hand with Ozempic and these GLP-1s? Do they, would you...
Can somebody explain to me real quick what Ozempic and GLP-1 is?
I'm going to let you do that.
Yeah, sure. So essentially it's a glucagon-like peptide that essentially affects your digestive system, also the brain. So it slows down everything in terms of your digestion. It also, in terms of the brain, it sort of gives you a sooner and better and longer lasting feeling of satiety. If it slows down my digestion, it means I'm going to feel full because it's not digesting fast. Exactly.
That's simple as that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry?
Yes. So to answer the question, though, I think it's those GLP-1s, just like Lap-Band or the procedure, are just a tool in the toolbox for physicians to help people who are obese. And I think the recognition that obesity as a disease is a very aggressive disease in terms of its plasticity, meaning it's going to come back. It's not easy to, as we all know, to lose weight and to keep it off, right?
Oh, I've lost it 1,000 times.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so
there's pictures of me on TV this big. There's pictures of me this big. It's just
the first pounds are the easiest, whether you lose them or gain them, right? So, so I think the toolbox it's more full now than ever before for physicians who are trying to treat those who are obese. And GLP-1s can be used with those procedures, Lap-Band, gastric sleeve bypass, as a combination therapy. And what happens with anything, even with the GLP-1s, you plateau in your weight loss. So it may take 12 to 18 months, but you're going to plateau depending on the individual and the obesity level. You'll plateau at 20, 25% weight loss, similar to a Lap-Band or to a gastric sleeve bypass. And again, different levels of obesity, different levels of treatment.
Hey, Paul, do you have a device close by, or is there a picture of a device online that we can see what it looks like? Or can you explain how it works?
Yeah, the simplest form for me is saying this is like taking a 6 or 7 lane highway and compressing that highway down to 2 or 3 lanes. And the Lap-Band is an adjustable band that essentially squeezes at the top of the stomach, just south of the esophageal stomach junction, and creates a little pouch. So just like the GLP-1s, it kind of limits your amount of food you can intake, also slows down your digestion. So people with a Lap-Band, like other surgeries, have to just monitor what they eat, have to eat smaller amounts, have to be careful of the food they eat. But ultimately, the difference with Lap-Band, what differentiates us is it is reversible, and we don't change your anatomy when we put it in. Now, that said, all the other procedures, we go hand in hand with the gastric sleeve and bypass. Those are very proven and safe procedures, right?
And they're forever, right? Just looking at
for
this here, so it's a non-invasive surgery because it acts like, for lack of a better word, a zip tie, right? It goes in straight. The doctor goes in there with an orthoscopic with a light and a camera and somehow connects it and pulls it. Now, I'm assuming that, because it looks like there's pillows around that, the one that I was looking at there, that means you can fill it up with air or fluid or something to make it more tighter.
Correct. It's filled with fluid. And then, at the time of after surgery, the surgeon will adjust that to whatever therapy level, whether it's 4-lane or 3-lane or 2-lane, using that analogy, right? So the zip line can get tighter. You can actually, unlike a zip tie, you can actually release this and extract the fluid. So the pillow becomes essentially puts less pressure on the top of the stomach. The one image on the far right is actually the 2.0 Flex that was just approved by the FDA this last January. And what that does is act as a relief valve. So if you're someone who's non-compliant, it just happens to throw down too large of a piece of bagel or whatever the instance, those two pillows on the far right, at least my right, hopefully it's the viewer's right, actually expand temporarily. They expand to allow that food to pass, and that's still punitive, but allows the food to pass and then goes back to normal state where there's compression around the top of the stomach. So pretty big innovation.
I was going to say, is this FDA approved? Now, do you have the patent on this? Is this patent pending, or is this your IP or some IP that you purchased? Or?
Patent pending. Reshape has a huge armamentarium of patents for Lap-Band and other products that we have, and done a great job. It's again, the product's been around for 20 years. This 2.0 Flex was just introduced, but we have a patent that's been applied for